For his pains, he is executed, kind of proving his point that society isn't in such good shape. I think that if that was a play or a novel, and if it had only ever been intended as that, and everybody knew that, then it would be quite a moving and significant work. Eagleton paints Jesus as a quasi-Marxist revolutionary, and in doing that, he shows that you can get something out of that story even if you're an atheist. Now, he reads a very Marxist political moral into it. You and I might read a less focused political moral or a different one into it if we're not Marxists ourselves. On the other hand, Jesus says a lot of stuff in the Gospels, and some of it isn't as nice as all of that, and in particular I think that Eagleton glosses over Jesus talking about hell a little bit too quickly, but it is an interesting idea to take from that, right? Eagleton's very basic summary of the Jesus story is that society sucks. We need to remake it based on love, and that needn't be an erotic or an interpersonal love, but more of a default respect for everybody and a desire for everybody to receive justice, even those who wrong us, and that doing that is going to involve sacrifice, it's going to involve people not being selfish, and it needs to be an intersectional movement. It needs to include all the people of the world who have been oppressed. Now, admittedly, that's vague on the details as to how to accomplish that specifically, but that's not a terrible political vision, I don't think. Christians who watch the show might well say, well, it's very generous of you to say that, Ollie, but at the same time you can't overlook the spiritual dimension of this. Yes, there's a secular political moral you can take from the Jesus story, but at the same time, it was real, he is the Son of God, this stuff really happened, and the only way to accomplish this is by God reaching into your life and personally transforming you. And, you know, fair enough, that's where you'd lose Eagleton, and that's where you'd lose me as well. I was surprised by just how much I got on board with Eagleton's reading of this, with the idea that you can get something very moving out of the Jesus story as an atheist. Perhaps this is just a function of my own political awakening. Since the recent UK general election, I have become more politically aware, and maybe I'm just in a particularly politically sensitive mood at the moment. I'd be really interested to see what other YouTube atheists have to say about this. Messianic Manic, if you're watching, I'd really like to hear your thoughts on this, and maybe some of the big dogs as well, like Jacqueline Glenn and Amazing Atheist and Thunderfoot, people like that. So if you guys want to send this video to them and ask whether they agree with Eagleton's reading of this, then feel free. I might send it to one or two myself. As far as the Jesus story being readable as a leftist political secular vision, well, maybe I'm just reading too much into it. Or am I?